Hi, Tea Society! Welcome back to the Antisocial Planet. Today we are checking out Mushi-Shi episode 13, and I'm so excited for this. After the last episode where we got a whole backstory with Ginko, loved that. I loved getting to learn like where the name comes from and like how he got associated with Mushi-Shi and Mushi and learning about that world and learning more about like why does he have the white hair and the green eyes and like the one eye, everything that's going on with that. So I loved so much of getting that story and like learning some of what motivates him in terms of like why he's always traveling and how that's always been part of his life, but also this like very strong emotional response that he gets when someone decides, specifically like a Mushi-Shi, that's like deciding that they're going to sacrifice themselves for the greater good or decide that other people's well-being is like more important than their own. There's instances all the way back to him becoming a Mushi-Shi, right, of why he feels that way. So I'm pretty excited to continue with this series. I didn't think I would get a backstory for him this early on. I thought it was something that would be continue to be elusive, but I love how they set up all of those building blocks before we got there. That made me like just curious enough that when I got to that point, it really paid off. In 3, 2, 1, go. This one's called One Night Bridge. Not sure what that is going to entail either. We had One-Eyed Fish in the last one, right? And then this one is One Night Bridge. I'm assuming there's going to be a Mushi bridge of some kind. Bridges are always interesting in the context of like stories of supernatural creatures though, or like folklore, because they're always this crossing over point, right? Between like one world and the next. So I think it would be interesting to have something with bridge imagery in this one as well. Even like the water, there's been lots of like water imagery too that's like associated with Mushi, which is interesting just in terms of like the way that they're seen as like forces of nature, and also water is like very fluid but also essential for life, right? Like everything is connected to water and the way that it like sustains life. Just an interesting image to have alongside Mushi. Will this be more chill because we're starting with the intro? I have no idea. Start with the forest again. Ominous though. Dark and like the music cue. And the angle? Apparently not, because something's off. Even like the bridge isn't like centered properly, right? Like it's on an angle. The way that they're walking across it. Ooh! See, what did I say about it not being alright? Ooh. Flashback of some kind, maybe? I don't like the creaking noise. Are we saying that like sarcastically? Be like, oof. What a bridge. Yeah, I wouldn't trust anything that creaks that much. Interesting how chill we are. So was the fall like not a flashback? It hasn't happened yet? I assume it has happened. Oh. Happened in the past. The The fact that she survived is incredible. Or did she? Always suspicious. I was gonna say her hair's different. I don't know if that's just like a choice to show like she's not doing well, or if it was because there was something going on with her hair. It looks like there was going something on. There was something going on with it. I mean, I don't know if it's her fault, just being like, we'll cross the bridge. Why is it, were you the reason they were out at night? Is that it? We were running away? Yeah. Is that why we think it's our fault? That's why we left at night in the dark. Mm-hmm. Explains the reaction to the whole friends thing. I mean, not that they couldn't be friends, but also loved and cared about each other, but I'm assuming because of the marriage thing, that's why. Ooh. Oh, should have let her just make her decision. Again, not entirely his fault, but I can understand why the guilt is there. It must have been like nerve-wracking too, because like if I saw someone fall like that from that height, I would assume we were looking for them not alive, right? Like I would not expect to find them like okay, all things considered. Yeah. Walking too. I'd be like, that freaks me out. Oof. Is that coming back if it doesn't have their soul? It usually isn't just a legend. Now we're dealing with Mushi. Something is definitely wrong. He noticed something. I love how ready he was to just climb that tree. Rude. Okay. Strong one way, weak the other. Yeah, it was like the coloring is interesting. Like almost like bleeding out all of like the color, the light. Yeah, I'm like if they make a bridge, maybe? Yeah, it's like it's almost like a marionette in some ways. And it's why she sits in the sunlight. Interesting. Hmm. Ooh, that's unsettling. Yeah. Like that's why they don't have their souls. Because they're not alive anymore. They're just being like puppeted. That's so uh heartbreaking. There are some things you can't fight against. I don't think she is alive. Yeah, I was like, I feel like I would be more upset about the person that I loved being like puppeted around. She'll go back to normal though. Seems to be the plan. Mm, I don't know. You wanted to keep people alive to get you in a little bit of trouble. Tend to break the rules. So this is when the bridge is gonna show up. So who's taking down the bridge? Hana? Or her, what, mother? Family member? So the Ginko has to stay? Yeah, was it you making him stay so that he'll have to deal with the problem? Ooh, hello. Probably. It freaked me out a little bit. Didn't know what creatures were like actually animals and which ones were like being puppeted around. I don't know about that. I hope that she goes back to normal. But I feel like that might be an empty shell. Hmm. The lack of color in this is so interesting too. Like both with like the mushi, they like take light, but then also like the grief interwoven with it. Oh, seeing some of himself, perhaps. Right, because we learned in the last episode Ginko was with his mom, right? He was traveling around, and then when he lost her, kind of was taken in by someone else. Sound design is so good. Interesting too, because like if they'd kept walking, right? Like if Hannah and him had kept walking across that bridge, would she have fallen? Right? So then he'd be like, hey, you can't go back. You have to keep going forward, or you'll fall. Oof. Forget. I don't know. same image that we had before when he was crossing with Hana. No. No, you can't go back. Ugh. And it's like so gray looking, like the whole design of the episode. Yeah, I was like, I'm assuming he also encountered the Mushi. Yeah. Sad though. Like to lose someone, have the hope that you can get them back, but they're just like a empty shell. So he's gonna have to live for like 20 years? Is this like, I don't know, zombie form? Ooh, oh, it was heavy. Definitely a lot heavier than I thought we were going to get into. Not that like, the last episode wasn't without its moments, or there haven't been like heavier moments within the storytelling, but I think something about holding out hope that you can get somebody back, right? And not being able to see what the path forward is without that person is just such a heavy topic, right? Like even Ginko being like, oh, as far as I'm concerned, she's still alive, and therefore I just want to hold on to that fact. And I think that's something that, I don't know, a lot of people have gone through when it comes to having loved ones or people that you care about who are ill or sick or whatever. I have definitely had family members where that has been something where you feel like, oh, we can just keep them alive and with us, then is that a better option than letting them go? And I think that's really what this was. And the idea of letting go of Hana right at the end with Zen was something he couldn't do. He ended up not moving forward because it was something that moving forward meant not with her. It meant moving on and not looking back. And I think having Ginko be like, oh, once you move forward, you can't look back. And very indicative of the last episode where he literally forgot a bunch of his past, right? Like the moment that he went forward with being Ginko and being a Mushi-Shi, he could not go back anymore. He crossed into this new point in his life. And in doing so, left behind like his mother that he lost, right? Like, I don't know how much he remembers of her, even if the way that he interacts with the world is shaped by that. I don't know how much he like actually remembers at like the forefront of his mind. And the fact that he continues to travel, right? He continues to go forward because looking back is only going to cause pain, right? Like you'll fall. I think the image of that, of if you go back, you'll fall, the hesitancy of it and the parallels of if Hana had kept going forward and not turned back and be like, no, it's fine. Like instead of going into the unknown, stick to what I know, even if it's not necessarily what's going to make me happy. Like the image of that, the symbolism, I think is really interesting too, but really heavy in dealing with just like the grief of how do you let go of somebody and can you let go of someone? And yeah, I don't even know fully how to like put into my thoughts because my emotions are just like heavy after that. Like I can feel in like my chest, but I think a really interesting episode to have after getting the backstory of Ginko, to just again have an instance in where he wants to just keep everyone alive, even if it's at a cost, or having them be different, going back to the episode where he gave that one guy like immortality and he's something else now. He's like kind of like folktale now, and this too of having this like empty shell of Zen like walking around probably for the next 20 years is heartbreaking in a lot of ways. Having him just be puppeted around for that, is that better than the option of just letting him go? Interesting episode, heavy episode. Ooh, this show continues to impress me though, just like the storytelling and like the design of it. Such a like simple style in terms of the art and like the animation, but they do so much with it to have the impact of those images, right? Like the way that color just bled out of this episode, I think is so in line with the topic of it and like what the mushi are and all of that. But I hope you enjoyed watching that along with me. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to miss next time I post a Mushi-Shi reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.